and the client experience that you're able to deliver at Momentum to clients that we bring you or to clients you guys are engaging with today?
Yep. So I always like to tell people with momentum, there you go. Get it? With momentum, you find us in the mid to enterprise market space, focusing on five different categories: UCaaS, CCaaS, SD-WAN, POTS replacement, worldwide network aggregation. So let's start with the worldwide network aggregation. There isn't anywhere in the world that you can't point to that I can't get something there, whether that be line of sight, DIA, point to point, dark fiber wave. And in fact, we are, because Azure seemed to be a topic of the previous presentation, domestically, we are the second largest Azure Express route provider and worldwide top five. So that's one category. Managed services. So we can provide a full Juniper stack, SD-WANs, switches, routers, APs, firewalls, all powered by Juniper's AI, Mist, and Marvis. POTS replacement. Nothing sexy about that. POTS is exactly what it sounds like. It's a plain old telephone line. But I just read an article. AT&T, as of 2028, will discontinue supporting all services copper line base. So all these companies they still have a need for
Hmm.
POTS lines, whether it be elevator, fax, sometimes security. Typically, you can go mobile, but really the elevator is kind of what I see them stuck in. And then UCaaS, CCaaS. So we really focus on the Microsoft Teams deployment with Operator Connect. We have a UCaaS platform, it's BroadSoft based, but really all of our time, energy, and effort is focused on the Microsoft ecosystem, focusing specifically with Microsoft Operator Connect and that environment, including our contact center, which lives natively inside Microsoft's platform.
So when somebody comes to you and says, "Hey, I want to engage with you to talk Microsoft, and I want to talk how we can do Microsoft from an Operator Connect, engaging that platform and deploying that platform," which is kind of one of the cores to your engagements in general right now
Mhm.
on that side of it. Because managed network, while it's out there, a lot of people have their places. You're looking for mid to enterprise in that space.
Mhm.
You're getting a lot of opportunity in that space. But one of the sides on the voice side that I got a question on is when somebody comes to you, how do you approach that? How do you engage them? What's that look like?
Yep. So I'm a huge fan going shoulder to shoulder. So whenever we go to talk to a customer, it's myself, it's my engineer, Russ, he's in the back room. We go shoulder to shoulder with you guys and we talk to the customer and make sure that whatever topology that we're trying to architect, that it's going to work in the environment. And it depends on whatever we're looking at, right? We could be architecting something on the LAN side and or something on the WAN side, but we architect it, we spec it, and we make sure that it's going to work in your environment, because if one of those things aren't working in harmony, it's not really going to have a successful deployment. Even if we're just not the right fit. And I'll be the first to tell you if we're in a conversation and it doesn't make sense, and I'll tell you it just doesn't make sense. But at the end of the day, when it does make sense, together we just figure out what that next step looks like.
So, Carrie, when you think, if somebody says to you, I want to engage with you, I have a couple hundred people, what's the first thing that you would do to engage?
Well, what are you looking to do? Like
I'm like, I want to implement AI.
okay.
What's my AI strategy for voice?
Okay. So what are you using for voice currently?
So I got an on-site PBX. It's a VIA. Kind of use it. Don't know how to integrate, and I know how I got to get rid of it,
Yep.
but I don't know where to go to. I mean, everybody keeps telling me to go to UCaaS. I kind of got some contact center, but I don't really use it properly because
Okay.
I think that the team's pretty weak doing that. So what would you suggest we did?
So are you living inside the team's environment currently?
Yeah, we actually are.
And that's where I would start. So let's talk about what that strategy looks like using your current team's environment. We'll take a look at your license. So we do not sell license, but there are some license requirements for a Teams user to go voice enable.
Hmm.
And that's where we would start that conversation. I was telling Randy earlier today, interesting fact that came from Microsoft themselves. So I work very closely with Microsoft. I have lunch with them once a month. I work with their leadership team. So Microsoft has modern workforce managers, and in order to be assigned one, you have to have at least 1,000 seats. So I'm talking to their leadership. And they mentioned Q4 2024, they have about 9 million Teams users. They are projecting by Q4 2028 for that number to be almost 22 million Teams users. So Teams is changing, it's a paradigm shift in the industry, and it's changing where customers go with their voice. So again, with Microsoft, whenever I work a lead with them and we close one with them, which last year we closed over 50,000 seats just with Operator Connect. A couple of the bigger deals came from Microsoft. And again, if you're going to get assigned a dedicated Microsoft rep, you have a minimum of 1,000 seats. I can tell you just competitively, from competitive information that's going on in the marketplace today, the number 2 losing carriers that are going to Microsoft Teams on enterprise companies are coming off Cisco call managers
Yeah.
and/or, sorry, but RingCentral. Those are the 2 losing carriers on an enterprise level that goes from those platforms to Teams.
So you've said it, and everyone may not be familiar with Operator Connect. So why is that? It's relatively new. I say that. It's definitely growing. But why is that beneficial to customers?
So with Operator Connect, you get to live inside the Teams ecosystem. It's not a connector. It's not an integration. It is a direct connection into the Microsoft cluster of servers. So in order to be a Microsoft Operator Connect carrier, there's a laundry list of things. You have to have a minimum of 4 10 gig bidirectional connections. You have to have your core network has to be 99% uptime. 5 nines. It used to be 4 nines. Earlier last year, they moved it to 5 nines. So the carrier's core infrastructure has to have an SLA of 5 nines. We have architected our infrastructure with eight 100 gig bidirectional gigs at 4 different locations into the Microsoft cluster of servers. So we do a tremendous amount of business with them. And it used to be the old fashioned way would be direct routing. Microsoft came out with Operator Connect, different architecture, different infrastructure, different way to get in there. But then when you're using Operator Connect, you're in their ecosystem of a bunch of add-on products, right? You can do Q's app, which they just released, which is kind of like a contact center light, but does a lot of other stuff. You got Copilot, but then another thing that that we offer that has kind of been a game changer, and it's so simple, is our ability to do native Teams faxing. No other company in America or in the world can do it. The reason why I know this, it's a patent pending product that Momentum has created to where you can actually inside your Teams environment send and receive faxes. Never have to leave the Teams environment.
Interesting.
Is that live, ready to? I mean, that's out there, ready to go.
I will show you a demo.
And that would use the paid license, right, for Teams?
So I don't know why it's not working on your computer. So
PowerPoint.
yeah.
Oh, you know why? Because yeah, well.
Okay. So there's actually a video embedded into this,
Yeah.
but this is kind of what it looks like, and you can see right there where it says fax.
Yep.
It's all native, living inside your Teams environment.
Wow, very cool.
I'm sorry. What was your question again?
It would be paid license?
So in order to do a voice enablement with Teams, you have to have either an E5 license, which typically already comes voice enabled, which that's the expensive way to do it because you also have all the security stuff. But you could have a E3 or less and then just do the voice enablement. So a standard voice plan, and we become the Operator Connect carrier that hooks up to it. So right now that voice plan's $8. Microsoft is raising that price in March or April to $10.
But that's only an enablement license.
Correct.
You still need voice services.
Yep.
On top of that.
Top of that.
And that's why you want to go to an outside
Yeah.
service as opposed to using Microsoft.
Look, Microsoft sells
Yes,
voice
yeah,
plans,
They do.
but they don't recommend it.
Yeah.
That's why they send their stuff to carriers like us because
Yeah.
Microsoft does a good job in some areas.
They don't want to do managed services. Let's
Yeah.
be real.
But
I mean, if you talk to, if you're Microsoft, you're like, I don't want to do managed services, so I'm going to give it to a partner to do it. I'm going to tell you I could do it, but the reality is they don't want to do it. Maybe for some global enterprises, they have a unique team that can do it. but it's not their business model. Their business model is build the best software, go have somebody else deploy and manage it.
Yep. I'll put that
Well,
back.
Carrie, thank you. Is there any questions you have of me, Carrie?
No, sir. Any questions you guys have for Momentum?
Interesting, but
Oh.
we just changed it to Dialpad like last year.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
2
Well,
or
thank
3
you.
more years we can consider the teams again.
Cool. I appreciate it.
Thank you. Thanks, Carrie.
Appreciate it.
it.